Hey guys, so 600 videos. Yes! Well, yes. 600 videos. Just feel that number. 600. I have... Yep. So we passed the halfway mark now. Now the next real big number is going to be 1,000. Let's see if we can make it to 1,000 videos. So let's get into it. What have I learned and what have I done between 500 videos and 600 videos? Well, the biggest changes, I suppose, to the videos themselves, or rather the format at least, is that I've had this thought, and so I am trying out a little bit of an experiment to just see what happens. So you see, as you may know, I have a few different things that I'm doing. Like most of the videos that I make are either a tutorial or this thing here, you and me talking, that thing, whatever that is. I don't know what to call that, but that's the standard format. And what's very interesting is that on average, most of the videos that I have this type of conversation with you are the sort of videos that people seem to take the biggest interest in, which leaves the question: what is it about my tutorials that I need to improve in order to get that real value? Because it's kind of interesting, don't you think, that the actual code, the actual teaching and learning, and the actual software development is not as popular as just me sharing my thoughts about the profession. Now, it could be that my tutorials are absolutely crap, or it could be that they are not relevant, or it could also be that in fact my theory has been correct all this time. And the theory I had was that people need more than just tutorials. So I tried it out, and it seems to be fairly accurate. But I had another thought as well, another theory. And this is the one that is under attack right now, because maybe I am wrong. And I don't like being wrong if I can help it. I'm okay with being wrong, and I'm wrong quite often. But about this thing, I really don't want to be wrong. You see, the tutorials that I make, apart from the ones that are request videos, request tutorials, you may, if you're paying attention, you may have noticed something about them. They're not basic. What do I mean by that? I will argue that the tutorials that I make have one thing about them that sets them slightly apart from most of the tutorials that you see on the big channels. And that is that none of them are, hey, this is React in 60 minutes. Hey, this is the syntax to Java. Hey, this is some bullshit hello world application that you are going to... They're not that basic. The tutorials that I try to make, and the tutorials that I enjoy making, are the tutorials that actually teaches you something, apart from the absolute bare bone basic stuff. And I'm not trying to say that, don't get me wrong, tutorials for very basic concepts are good, they're absolutely good, but I think that we have enough of them. But what we don't have, I mean, even the big channels, they're not making tutorials that teaches you things that you can go and do in production environments for the most part. There are exceptions to this rule, but for the most part, what I see are a lot of people showing you some basic way of using some tool and so forth, but they don't really explain the sort of thing that I would argue is more useful That's at least what I might be wrong. I might be completely off the mark here, but that's the way I feel about it anyway. So those are the sort of tutorials that I make, right? So what is going on? So I had this theory. I was going to try something out. I'm going to see how, if the issue with these tutorials is exactly what I'm saying, that maybe they're actually too complicated, maybe they're not relevant, maybe there's all kinds of issues. So I wanted to try something out. So I've started making these JavaScript bootcamp videos. And I also started making these CSS tricks videos. And these are two different approaches to this issue that I'm still making the bigger videos and the request videos as well. And I do a few review videos and stuff of that nature as well. But usually those bigger videos, those are the ones that, you know, they're roughly everything from 15 minutes to half an hour plus. Those videos, although I personally think that those are valuable, they might not be so valuable. So I was going to see what happened, or rather I'm trying out to see what happens if I reduce down the complexity, or rather the size of the video. Now I'm not talking about slicing up the video, I'm saying what happens if I make bite-sized tutorials? What if, say, CSS tricks, for example, those videos, those are mostly about teaching you a basic CSS component that you can, how to implement it, pros and cons of making it, and when to use it, or things of that nature, right? Same thing with the JavaScript bootcamp videos. You get to we implement a single function that touches on a computer science or algorithmic concept that can be or a technique that can be very useful for you to know. It's isolated and it's basically just a small tool, a mental mark for your brain. That's it. It's not trying to be big, it's not going for some holistic understanding of the universe or everything in software. That's just my attempt. So right now I'm going to evaluate how these smaller videos how they measure up against the bigger tutorials. And it's going to be interesting to see. Now I have to put things in perspective, of course, because there are so many factors that play in here, and yeah, we'll just see how it works out. But other than that, I'm very happy to be at 600 videos, and yeah, we'll see if I can make it to 700 videos. Have a great day.